Poultry farming is a form of animal husbandry which raises domesticated birds such as chickens, ducks, turkeys, and geese to produce meat or eggs for food. Despite the traditional ways of poultry production being the most popular among the many enterprises, advance in farming technology has enabled modern farmers to increase efficiency and reduce human error on the farm, thus increasing production of the various poultry products. In Uganda, Kande Poultry Farm is one of the leading farms that have adopted the use of fully automated machines for poultry production. On today's episode, we are in Matuga at Kande Poultry Farm to learn more about fully automated poultry production systems.
This is a fully automated brooder.
Right.
It has a capacity of 20,000 birds. So all systems here are fully automated. As you can see, those are the curtains which are controlled by the motors inside.
Right.
Connected to the computer and also connected to the temperature sensors.
Yeah.
This is a cooling pad. In case of extreme temperatures,
Cool.
it operates like a radiator.
Yeah.
Blows in cold air to cool the birds.
Yeah. Why did you start this new project? Because we saw the old one, but now what about the new one?
First and foremost, this new one is really using advanced technology.
Right.
Versus the old one. Like we realized that in the previous brooder, you did not see anything like the cooling pads available. And then also the immunity that these birds really have. These birds have shown that they really have a higher immunity due to the favorable conditions that are available and also the insulation that we provided inside the house, as we are going to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go look at it.
Okay.
Yes.
Kande Poultry Farm is a company involved in egg production and ensures customer satisfaction in regard to production of high quality, clean, well-sized and nutritious table eggs for human consumption.
Oh my God, Mr. Samuel, this is so big.
Yeah.
How many birds does this project house?
This unit houses 20,000 birds.
Wow.
Yeah, but it has capacity of 20,400.
Wow.
Also factoring in those extras that you get from the supplier.
Oh my God, tell us more. How are they getting the water? How do they get their feeds? How is the waste taken out?
Yes, thank you. Now, these birds, first of all, when we just brought them, day one, we put brooding paper in every single cage. Okay, we put brooding paper here for a period of 3 days. And then we pour pellets pre-starter pellets onto the brooding paper. So such that these birds, some of them can be weak when they don't have enough energy to come into the feed troughs to eat. So after day 3, we withdraw the pellets, the brooding paper. Then water.
You called it a nipple.
Yes, it's a nipple line. This is the nipple line.
That's how they get the water.
And then this is the nipple. Yeah, they tap the nipple.
And the water comes out
automatically.
automatically.
The water comes automatically. Yes.
He will explain to us the water system at the beginning.
Yeah.
But we want to go to what else can you tell us about your structure?
Okay.
What
Now,
was the motivation to do such a structure?
First and foremost, the very low mortalities here. Right now, these birds are day 9, and we have mortality of 0.64%.
Yeah.
Which is relatively very low mortality versus what the breeder gives you. And secondly, there is uniformity in growth with these birds. Because each cell, look at such a cell, we put 43 birds. Once these birds reach week 6, we withdraw 21, we put on the lower tier. And then we withdraw 21 from here, we put on the upper tier. Okay. They spend here a period of 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
And then we transfer them to the production unit. Then the other beauty is that light is so critical when these birds are growing. So these are dimmable lights.
And the machine that does it?
Yeah, and the computer controls the lighting.
Yeah.
So in week 1, we give them light of about 24 hours at 100 lux. Then every week we keep on reducing the light. Yeah, so it's so critical in the development of the ovaries for these birds.
Okay. Can we see the fans in the back? And how long is this thing?
This is about 78 meters long. So below each tire, there's a manure belt.
Yes.
So once the birds...
this right here.
Yeah.
I hope it's this. Oh, it's this, sorry.
Yeah, below each tire. Down there's
As they poop, the poop is collected.
Yes, it's collected on the manure belt.
And then the machine does what?
It scoops it out. There's a horizontal conveyor, as you don't see it.
It's like an elevator. Okay,
exactly.
an escalator. Is it? it takes itself out.
Yes, exactly. It takes itself out. On taking itself out, then there's a conveyor which also takes it out of the house. And then there's an elevator which puts it on the truck.
Right. Well, this is brilliant. Why did you want to do this type of poultry?
First and foremost, you're using small space, but again, you're having many birds.
Right. You call this small?
Yeah, this is small space.
Okay.
The space that you require, because if you're doing depleter system,
just putting them down,
you'll be having around 8,000 birds.
Right.
Using such a system.
Okay.
But here now you have space of 20,000.
Okay. Okay.
The roof, that's what we call polynam.
Yeah.
Polynam is for insulation. Remember, an iron sheet contracts heat quickly and loses it quickly.
Yeah.
So we have this insulation material whereby during our time of brooding, remember we don't want to lose heat. So to contain it in the house, we must be having an insulation material. Okay. So the diesel heat has blow warm air inside.
Yeah, we felt the heat. It's now so hot.
Yes. Then the insulation contains heat inside. And also doesn't allow heat from the outside to come into the house. Oh. So you just have the ideal temperature that you need in this house.
You control everything.
Yes. Then these fans are the ones which circulate warm air in the entire house. So once the temperature has been achieved, the system switches off itself. And then once the temperatures fall, it switches on itself.
Wow.
Then these are what we call the feed carts.
Feed carts?
Yes. These are for feed distribution. And they are controlled by the computer.
So the computer is the one that drops food there?
We have a silo outside. Oh. It's a 10-ton silo. So we create a feeding program on the computer. So right now, this computer feeds birds at exactly 7 a.m.
Yeah.
It does the activity again at 10. Thereafter, it repeats at 2. Yeah. Yeah. So we feed in intervals. So what happens at the silo, there's a flexi that conveys feed from the silo into these feed carts. Yeah. Then now the computer senses the time for feeding, it will move, it will
move the food along.
Yeah, you cannot push it even if you have a lot of energy. Yeah. It's controlled by the computer.
Oh, it goes all the way.
Yes, there's a rail. Yes.
Oh, why does it?
So you can
what's
see
this brush for?
It's for cleaning. It cleans the system as it's moving to prevent that.
So sufficient.
Yeah.
Perfect. Then the fans. Tell us about the fans.
These are the.
Wait, before we go there,
these are the motors.
Oh,
each line has a motor which runs the conveyor belt to get out the manure. So as you can see, the conveyor belts. These are the conveyor belts. Yeah. So you can see that below each tire, manure falls. Okay. Yeah. Below each tire. So once the manure falls, it's run by these motors. The motors scrap the manure and falls onto this horizontal conveyor. So this horizontal conveyor takes the manure outside, and then there's a vertical conveyor which loads into the truck. Yeah. But then the waste management is controlled by this system here. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So you just run it, and then
it cleans itself out.
This stuff out. Okay. We also have what we call the water alarm.
What?
So this is the water alarm.
What happens with that?
You realize that all these are sensors. So these are pressure regulators for the water. Assuming there's any line that has run out of water, this alarm would make noise. Yeah, that there's water, maybe there's a blockage on a particular nipple, maybe there's this problem. Okay. Yeah.
Other fans?
Then these are what we call the extract fans. Assuming the temperatures are so high, okay, these fans will scoop out. That's why they're on one side. They will scoop out all the warm air inside and take it outside. Right. Yeah. Then there are those curtains. They open and close depending on the temperature that's inside the house.
Yeah, let the birds sleep outside.
Yeah. We also have what we call the monitoring carts. Yeah. You don't have to step onto that equipment to monitor what is up, to ease movement, and also be in position to look at this tire and that tire. There's that monitoring cart that you place, and then you move easily. So this entire house, one person is sufficient.
Wow.
In modern-day farming, poultry houses are controlled by computer systems that regulate the temperature, humidity, lighting, food, and water in the barns. This way, the birds are comfortable 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Many farmers use apps on their phones to monitor these systems on top of the in-person checks they do throughout the day.
Oh, I want to climb. So I break a nail for this bird. Here?
Yeah, it's just this.
Oh my God.
Just go to put this way on this.
Oh, you guys.
It's heavy.
Manyaneva. On which rail? Okay. Is it now on? Oh, okay, I didn't see that.
So?
Let me climb for you.
Also use the steps.
The steps. You're too excited. Oh, there's even an extra thing up here.
So you just elevate it.
And then you go high.
You go high.
Look at that. Oh, this is nice. This is so creative. You don't have to keep climbing and then it stops. Oh,
Stepping on this and then, you know.
you just check on them and keep going. Look how they all run.
Yeah, because survival instinct.
Survive what? You'll be eaten by. It's what?
It's resting.
It's tired. Let me grab it. Can I?
Yeah, kind.
Oh my God! Don't run away from me. I mean you well. This one is clear.
Yeah. Most of them are here. They are just those anomalies that you keep on checking for.
They've made me happy. So how can you know if one is like sick? This one just pooped on me.
Now, it pooped on you because like
scared.
it was scared.
Relax.
So, but once the bird is sick, you look at its physiological condition. In most cases, like they tend to be browny, okay?
Much like
Kind of like their feathers when they are falling down, okay? A bird should be active. A bird which is in good health, a healthy bird should be active and alert. So when I
okay, it's about time. This is over pooping.
all of them are alert. And secondly, we look at their manure. The manure of the bird.
Oh, you also look at it?
Yes, you look at the manure.
Yeah.
So manure of the bird should be gray and also have maybe that uric acid, which is a bit white. Now, once you see that there is only white manure, maybe you can suspect like you have typhoid in your flock.
Right.
Maybe you have like brown manure, suspect coccidiosis. You have green manure, will suspect Newcastle. Yeah. But the key factor that can tell any single farmer is that you really vaccinate these birds promptly. That's number one. Number two, and also to ensure a strict biosecurity. Why we use such systems is to reduce human contact as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because you realize that if you're distributing feed, there's limited human contact.
Right.
You don't know where someone slept.
You don't know where they've
someone
been.
moved. Because even when you're moving, like these shoes and gumboots of ours, some of these animals, like the goats, are natural carriers of E. coli.
Yeah.
So once you step on their manure, there's a possibility of spreading E. coli to your flock.
Right.
But now here, even if when there is such compromises, birds are in the cages. So E. coli
Can't
be
get
reduced.
that. Yeah.
But still, we don't stop there. We flush our water systems every single month using industrial hygienic peroxide because there's a biofilm that usually accumulates in these nipple lines.
Right.
Because you use vitamins, you use use vitamins, you use probiotics. So all of them, they tend to, they put them on powders which make them as carrier agents. So they tend to stick onto this, and now that biofilm acts as substrate for bacterial growth. So once you flush out the system, you're safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's move on. We want to see the big hens.
The big hens.
We're done with these little ones. They're over pooping on us. We are not welcome anymore. So we're going to the others.
Conventional poultry are usually vaccinated against a variety of diseases including Newcastle disease, fowl pox, and fowl cholera. Vaccines are intended to stimulate the immune mechanism of an animal to produce antibodies which will inactivate pathogens and also produce minimum harm. Vaccine is a protective measure against outbreak of contagious and infectious diseases and plays a major role in preserving the productive health of poultry. Their use in poultry production is aimed at avoiding or minimizing the emergence of clinical diseases at the farm level and thus increasing production.
So how do you vaccinate?
Okay, now we have this system. This is what we call the mixing tank, and then we have this which we call the medicator.
Right.
Now, as you see, water which comes into the system comes from an underground borehole
Right.
to the reservoir, then flows by gravity to the system. So this is one of the filters, moves the macro impurities, then that one moves the micro impurities. So as water flows into the system, so for you, what you have to do is to know how much water these birds consume per day. Then, because birds consume a fifth of the water they consume in a day, in 1 hour. So you place 2% of that water into this mixing tank because it's calibrated.
Right.
And then you also set this medicator at 2%. You close this the bypass, then you open for the water to move through the medicator.
Yes.
And then it will siphon this medicine, okay, and inject it inside with the water which is flowing through the system.
Right.
And the birds will get the vitamin and also the vaccines like Newcastle and Gomboro, which are the live vaccines. Yeah.
Today's poultry farming enterprises can benefit from the trend towards automation, boosting efficiency, allowing for enhanced data collection, and improving productivity on the farm.
This is the computer. We call it the Orion computer.
Orion.
Yeah. This is a system that controls all variables that you need at the farm. More so with these.
What are those variables? Can we?
Now, let's start with this.
Yeah.
We have like this function of F1. Okay. It shows you the weather at the station outside. That's the temperature outside.
Yeah.
It shows the inside temperature, which is 32.1.
Yes.
But then the temperature that we need, we set is 31 because these birds right now are on day 9.
Yeah.
So we follow the standards.
Right.
That from day 1 to day 7, you require a temperature of 33 degrees. Then from day 9 to day 14, you require about 31 degrees.
Yeah.
So temperatures keep on reducing.
Okay.
So this is where you set the temperature from. You just come here on the deviation, you set the deviation that you want temperature to deviate from, and then you put. So this is from day 8 to day 14. You will require a temperature of 31.9.
Yeah.
So you don't have to come to that computer every day to put in the temperature. Just put the range of temperature that you need for the computer to operate.
Okay.
For feeding and lighting, you create a lighting program here.
Yeah.
There's a function, so under function 3, you create it there. Then you put it in 1, which is automatic.
Right.
So the computer will say that at 7, I'll put on the light and then switch off at 4.
Okay.
And then put on like at 6.
Right.
This is the ventilation, which are the extract fans the other side out. So you cannot run them because right now the chicks require a relatively higher temperature. The heating, it's under auto. So you set the temperature. Then once the heaters, once the temperature falls below the set, the heaters switch on themselves and then saturate the heat. Then we have the side curtains. So here we just put them on auto. They either close or open, depending on the temperature.
Everything that's inside that you don't need to do it manually. You can just come here.
Yeah, you put these buttons auto, and then you create your program.
Right.
Here, and then the systems will run.
any other farming business, it is important to understand the market of your products. In poultry farming, the amount of eggs produced in a day and the market prices per tray plays a major role.
Currently, we just have 20,000 birds under production.
Yeah.
So we are producing 600 trays a day. But in a period of about 5 months from now, we shall be producing about 1,200 trays because these other chicks will also be laying.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how much is a tray?
Right now, a tray is 9,000 shillings.
Okay.
Farm gate.
Yeah. I heard someone was talking about how the scarcity of eggs in the country.
Yeah, really, that one came from the fact that COVID brought in a lot of issues.
Yeah.
So many people could not break even. Prices had fallen to 6,000 shillings at farm gate.
Yeah.
So very many people off-laid their chicken.
Yeah.
So now there's a deficit in the amount of eggs available on the market.
You've heard that, so if you're out there, you can start producing your eggs.
Yeah. So, and also prices of grain had really gone high. Yeah, maize grain. Maize grain, yeah.
The feed.
Yeah.
Right.
So, because maize grain is a key component in the feeds, actually it takes about 35% of the feed formula. So, yeah, it had risen twice the initial price for we used to buy maize grain.
Okay.
This is Kande Poultry Farm.
Kande Poultry Farm.
Yeah, it's basically a commercial layer farm. We deal in egg production.
Right.
And also pullets, which are the...
What's pullets?
Pullets are birds which are still at the growing stage. So we do brooding for farmers. Those ones who don't have capacity to brood for themselves up to a period of 3 months.
Then you sell them off.
Then we sell them off to them.
And then the other thing is egg laying.
Yeah, egg production.
Now, when did it start?
Kande Poultry Farm started in August 2017. Yeah, so we've been running for the last 5 years. This is the 6th year.
That's nice. So can you explain to us how many structures are here altogether?
Currently we have 3 structures which are under production for with capacity of 10,000 birds. Then we have another structure of 20,000 birds. It's still a production house.
Yeah.
We have a brooder of 20,000 birds, fully automated, and also another brooder of 10,000 birds, which is also fully automated.
Now tell us more, what's that one thing that makes Kande Poultry Farm stand out? Because we've been to so many poultry farms. Surely,
what I can say is that Kande Poultry Farm is one of the leading indigenous poultry farms in the daily lives of Ugandans, whereby it's a company that looks at quality. Right now, we are one of the few poultry farms in Uganda that are certified under HACCP and then also ISO 2018.
Right.
So we look at food safety and quality so much. Our products, the kind of eggs that we sell to our customers, are free from any food safety hazards, are free from antibiotics.
Yeah.
So they are not carcinogenic to any form. So they cannot create any kind of like food public health issues.
That definitely makes you stand out, because not every farm has the things that you have. The
and also the kind of technology that we employ.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we use state-of-art technology,
right,
actually with EU standards. Yeah, very many companies are using technology, but then they are not concentrated so much on standards. But we're using the EU standards because, first of all, it's a 50-50 kind of situation whereby the bird benefits and also the farmer benefits. Because once the bird has a proper welfare, it will give you good production.
Right.
And also, once you're the farmer, you get good production, then you make the sales and the profits.
Now, estimate for us, how much would a farmer need to start something like this with one structure?
Oh.
That whole structure.
You know, it's really amazing.
Yeah.
That these things are really in bits by bits.
Right.
But now, as we've seen this equipment, there are 2 types of equipment that we have. We have cages which are in form of the F kind of shape, and then we also have cages which are in form of an H.
Yeah, the H.
The H kind of cage, it's relatively more expensive. Why? Because it has more accessories that it comes with, as opposed to the A kind of setup. So I would advise a farmer who's just starting, to start with this kind of A-frame cage. So if you're looking at a cage setup whereby it's for 10,000 birds, the equipment is excluding construction of the house, excluding purchase of birds. It is about 40,000 US dollars.
40,000 US dollars.
Yeah, about that. Let's say an approximate of about 200 million to 150, that range.
Wow.
Because of the accessories that you might eliminate, like the curtains, you might eliminate the manual scrapper. So you get the quotation, and then you keep on eliminating what really doesn't suit your needs.
Okay, that's nice. Any challenges you faced on the farm?
Definitely. There are a number of challenges as any kind of business.
Right.
Now, like lately, COVID has affected us so much.
Yeah.
The prices have been fluctuating, whereby there's a time when prices hit to below the belt, about 6,000 at farm gate. And now, remember the product.
When you say farm gate, what is it?
Now, in such a setup, for us, our customers come and buy eggs from the farm. Their trucks come, they pick eggs from the farm, and then they take to their markets.
Okay.
And also the rising prices of maize grain.
The feeds for the hens.
Yes.
Right.
And also the supply chain, because we are using concentrates, and most of these concentrates are imported into the country. So now the supply chain was affected so much by COVID that very few ships were coming to Africa. Actually, very few ships were moving across the globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the blockage of the Suez Canal. So we got so much delays because we had ordered in for concentrates to come into the country. But then now we got delays for close to 3 months. Now those delays affected us in a way that we bought these concentrates locally, and now each bag, there was an extra cost of 20,000 shillings.
On each bag?
Yes, on each bag. Now assuming you're using maybe like 10 bags or 20 bags a day, that's close to 400,000 shillings that you're losing in a particular day. So that's a lot of money.
Yes. What else apart from the prices?
Then the other things are really, since we were the pioneers of using such a kind of system, really in 2015 we found very many issues whereby very many people had several sentiments that why are using this kind of cages when there is this. So before we created this insulation that you saw, the polynam below the sheets, birds in the upper tiers usually used to get issues of heat stress. So now if you have heat stress, that means that there's limited production. If you have issues of heat stress, more so the bird's immunity lowers, so chances of infestation of diseases like E. coli are usually high. So you get chances of disease outbreak. And also still, because we're starting with a new system then, we realized that there were issues of system failure. System failure, not because the system doesn't work, because we didn't know how to operate it. You get it?
Right.
So examples whereby the nipple lines would block, till when we consulted and contacted and said that, look, you can use hydrogen peroxide to flush your nipple lines. So those are kind of the few challenges that we've really experienced.
That's really nice. Now, any last word to someone who's out there watching?
I would really implore all people out there to really embrace poultry farming. It's one of the key components that can really drive farmers, enhance their livelihoods, and also transform their lives. Because, as I always tell people, a chicken will never lie.
That's what
Birds
she
don't
said.
lie. Yes, you give them garbage, they always give you garbage. You give them quality, they always give you quality. And secondly, those ones who want to brood with us, Kande Poultry Farm is open to you.
They do training and internship?
The interns are welcome, trainings are welcome.
That's perfect. Where can they find you? Contact info, social media?
We have a Facebook page, Kande Poultry Farm. We also have a website, www.kandepoultryfarm.com. All our contact details are available.
So just contact them, and then you can also scroll down and you find the information right there. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Now guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also follow us on all our social media pages, Kengana Nation, Instagram, Kengana Nation, Facebook, Kengana Nation on Twitter. I am your host, Janita. We'll see you next time.